How you guys doing? I just had something I want to share with you real quick that has resonated with me, and I hope it also touches your heart. Here's a God quote that I woke up with this morning. And if I can stand the rain and the wind and all that, and we can not have the steel falling over, it'll be great. Okay, the quote I got when I woke up this morning was, "You don't need to be kept away from what you were meant to do, who you were meant to be, because of someone else's pain and shame and fear." Now, what was coming to mind as I heard that quote was I remember in fifth grade. Do you guys remember learning math in fifth grade? Suddenly, what was sweet little addition and subtraction becomes three-column multiplication. And suddenly, if you make one little mistake on a multi-step problem, it's wrong. Not just a little bit, not just, oh, here's one place, so we'll give you 90% credit. No, it was either 100% correct or 100% big fat goose egg if you got it wrong. Well, in the fifth grade, I struggled with that a lot because I love to please people, and I'd usually made fairly good grades fairly easily. But suddenly I'm up against this thing where if I make one little mistake, the whole thing's wrong, and it was very frustrating. But on top of that, I was in a situation where I just didn't feel like the teacher liked me. And there were circumstances behind that as a 10-year-old you'd have no clue, but it made for a tough year. And bottom line, I came out of that year believing A, I'm bad at math, B, I hate numbers, and C, don't mess with me about that stuff because I'm just not good at it. So I had to kind of get through that a little bit over the years and even had to teach my own kids algebra after a while. So I got past it some. But you know how those early impressions can leave that mark. And I felt like God was waking me up with this thought about you don't need to be kept away from who you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to do because of what has happened to you or what someone else with their hangups put on you. It's time for us to get past those things that mark us and shape us that get in the way of what God has for us to do. So here's my prescription, if you will. Think of one thing. I know there's probably several, but think of one thing in your life, kind of like this wind, that is a constant battle for you. Maybe it's a self-image thing. Maybe it's something like math or some task that you've always thought, I'm just no good at that. Well, take it before God and say, here it is. Here's a weakness of mine. Could you please heal this and tell me what you say about me? Simple. Lay your weakness before God and say, what do you say? And then let Him do with you what He wants. And that those limitations no longer define you. Let your Heavenly Father define you. There's more to come. That was part one of about 5, I think.